there, gang, and welcome to part 5 of our You Are Enough series, Time for Ink. I am Macon Maria. I'm an independent Chalk Couture designer, and I am here to show you all the amazing and wonderful things you can do with these transfers that are reusable. So we have been on a journey with the You Are Enough transfer, which is a special promotion through the company that you can purchase as a kit. And in our journey, we have made, obviously, since it's night number 4, we have made 4 signs or items already. They are behind me. Oh, except the mirror. Everything's behind me but the mirror. We've got the 3 signs that we made, and then we also etched a mirror, which I was showing off to one of my friends because I think it's so cool. And it's upstairs, so sorry, I don't have the mirror with me. So in our You Are Enough series, if you share my video, you have an option to win, or a chance to win. So far, we have 2 signs that you have the option to win. You could win our You Are Enough sign that is very similar to the kit and how the kit is made. And then we have our circle with You Are Enough with the wooden flowers on it. And if we get that far tonight, we might have an option tonight as well. So in order to be entered to win the sign, I need you to share my video. So if you can please hit that share button, then comment, please, like Sarah did. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah's already shared me. If you can hit share and comment that you shared, then I entered you at the end of our series in the drawing. So tonight we are inking, and I'm hoping we have enough time to make 2 projects. The first thing we're going to make is a t-shirt. And if we have enough time, I'm hoping we're going to make a pillow. The t-shirt I need to make for my daughter because she's been begging me to make the t-shirt. And I just haven't gotten that far yet. And the pillow, if we get that far, we'll see how the t-shirt goes, we'll give away. So, this is an ink mat, and it's sticky. Very similar to the backs of the transfers. Hello, Nicole. Welcome. And it's a little bit different than the backs of the transfers, so you do treat the ink mat slightly differently than you do the transfers. Like I've told you many times, I clean my transfers with alcohol wipes or disinfectant wipes. You do not do that with your ink mat. You will take the stick off of it. You just clean your ink mat with water. But what the ink mat does is it has actually several functions. It saves your fabric from the ink bleeding through. If it goes through to the other side, that's obviously a big thing when you ink. It also, because it's sticky, it holds your fabric in place, which makes it easier to get a good adherence of the ink to it. So, and that's probably the biggest benefit I find, because you can put anything in between it to make it not bleed through. But I really have found that the stick makes a big difference, because as I've said in previous videos, I have thought the ink mat was a bunch of hooey when I first started, and I did not buy the ink mat right away. And I learned quickly that it's not a bunch of hooey. It actually makes a big difference. And especially if we get to the pillow and towels and things, sometimes they have a bumpier fabric, more like a canvas or a burlap, where it's not an even flat surface. And the ink mat allows you, because of the stick, to smooth it out. So it gives you a much better ink. That you lose some of the bumps and you have less chances of bleeding. So the other nice thing about the ink mat is you can cut it up. And I actually have several now. And because we've made a lot of smaller projects, and when you have this really big ink mat, sometimes it doesn't fit in your little onesie or like on tea towels and stuff. So I have several of them, and I do cut them because it does make your projects easier. And they're not expensive, so they're a nice thing to have. So I'm going to stick my ink mat in between this very bright pink t-shirt that we are making. And we're going to actually combine 2 different transfers tonight, because I got to tell ya, ladies, I am in Valentine's Day mode. Oh my gosh, I'm in Valentine's Day mode. Those Christmas decorations came down, and up went Valentine's Day. Or at least the beginning of Valentine's Day. So my kids, I like to drive them crazy as much as humanly possible. And, okay, so all I'm doing is I'm sticking my fabric down we're going to use, this is one of the Valentine's Day, and I learned this is from Pride and Prejudice, and it's a beautiful transfer, and it says, "You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you." Isn't that cool? Mr. Darcy said that in Pride and Prejudice. We're going to try using just the circle, but this is really a cool transfer, and I made this one because I have an upcoming class that this is one of the options for the class. But look at how cool this is in black and white. This is a really nice transfer. And there's lots of really good options of things you can do with this transfer besides making it the way that it's designed to be made. So, like, for example, we're going to use the circle. So I have my painter's tape out because I do kind of have a tendency, you know, to be squeegee happy. We'll call it that. I'm squeegee happy, and I like to squeegee quickly and don't pay any attention to, oh, where did I want that? No, that's not where I wanted that. Okay, so I'm lining up my transfer because all I'm going to do on this transfer is the outer circle, and then I'm going to stick our "You Are Enough" in the middle of it. If I can make it work, I may try to put the scroll. I don't know if it's going to work, the scroll up on top, because it's too narrow, but we'll see. If I can get the scroll to go up on top, we will make the scroll go up on top. But, so I'm just sticking my transfer down. Ink and chalk are very similar to each other. Making sure you get your air out, making sure that you have a good stick. Ink, you definitely don't want any bleeds with, because ink is unforgiving, unlike chalk. You mess up with ink, you're not getting it off. So it's easy to mess up with ink. So I'm just really going around, and all I really care about is that outer circle. I don't care about the words because I'm not going to use the words. So I'm going to tape over the words Mr. Darcy so that Mr. Darcy does not become enough in our "You Are Enough" series. And I'm going to tape over the scrolly part of the mirror because it would be very easy to be squeegee happy with this transfer. Plus, I am kind of trying to make a circle where there isn't one. That's my easy press. It's heated up and ready to go because when you ink, after you ink, you have to heat set. You do not need a fancy easy press. I have a Cricut easy press, which is how I heat set. You can use an iron. It just takes longer. So if you're going to ink one or two things, you sure don't need it. If you're going to ink like I do, it makes my life much nicer and easier to have it because when you iron to heat set, you do 4 minutes on each side. I'm not a patient person. That's a lot of time. When you use the easy press, it takes 30 seconds on each side, so it's much easier. So again, I'm just taping over our little scrolly part so that I don't get that in my ink. And then I'm just doing the outline. And then we're going to stick "You Are Enough" inside of it. Okay, so anyways, back to Valentine's Day, because that's really way more fun to talk about. So I have this expression that I say all the time, every single year, and it's to the point with my kids that all I have to say is, "Do you know what it is? It's Valentine's Day." And then they just roll their eyes in the back of their head, and it's Valentine's Day, and it's the celebration of love. Love, 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 love. And I say it like that every single time. Oh my gosh. So today, out came the Valentine's Day hearts, and they came home from school, and poor Joseph comes home first, and I'm like, "Joe, guess what it is?" He's like, "What?" I'm like, "It's Valentine's Day." He's like, "Oh, no." And he ran away. It was kind of funny. Poor kid. You know, if you can't torture him now, when can you torture him, right? He's going to miss me. They're all going to miss me when they go away to college. Their crazy mother. So I have these really cool Valentine's Day hearts that are metal wire, that are huge, big scalloped hearts that are kind of odd-shaped hearts, and they have lights on them. My husband came home from work. He's like, "It is January 7th. What are we doing with Valentine's Day out already?" And I'm like, "Guys, come on, it's Valentine's Day." Okay, sorry, I'm going on and on. We need colors. So I know, it's kind of close to Peacock. It's not called Peacock, though. It's called Tide because it's ink. Of course, they can't have the same names. I think we're going to do the words in Tide and the circle in Regal. I think she'll like these colors. This is the biggest problem with inks is getting them open. Oh my gosh. Whew. So, I got it open. Now, you don't stir ink. Probably the biggest mistake, well, it's not a mistake, it doesn't really hurt it to stir it, but ink is different. It's unforgiving. Check your fingers every single time. You're going to touch something once you've touched the ink because you're not going to get it off. White, Storm, which is the gray color, Fawn, which is the cream color, you can kind of work with some of those depending on what kind of fabric it is. But red, forget it. You get it someplace you don't want it, it's not going anywhere. So I do kind of try to get rid of fabric areas that I don't, although I need to keep my transfer flat, so I guess I'm not going to do that. But just be careful with your inks. The other thing you can do is if there's there is a lot of colors of ink, but if for some reason there's not a color that you like with the ink, you can mix them to make your own colors. Same thing with chalk. Just do not mix chalk with ink. There are different formulas and that does not work. Okay, so I'm just going around my circle and I'm going to keep telling myself I only want the circle. I do not want the sideways words because that would look really bad. I'm holding my squeegee up and down, 90-degree angle. I'm not laying it down. I'm holding it up and I'm pushing the ink through the silk screen. Ink, you can see easier and it glides. It's much more smooth than chalk because it doesn't obviously have that grit. Not that chalk is gritty, but it doesn't have that like resistance in it that chalk has. So it glides more like I guess water would glide. It's really smooth and easy to get on, but you want to make sure that you have an even layer. And you can see if you've missed an area in the silk screen, you can see the fabric color, so you know when you've gotten or don't have it everywhere you want it. So you just go around, just going around, making sure I've got it in. The other thing will be if we do both projects tonight is I'll have to wash the transfer because I'm not going to do the same color on the pillow that I am going to do on the shirt. Okay, the other nice thing about our ink is it doesn't dry like chalk does. You actually want it to dry because it absorbs into the fabric. So you need it to dry to heat set, but you don't have that whole, oh my gosh, it's going to dry on top of my transfer. It doesn't do that, where you pull it up and then it pulls it up. Okay, I'm checking my fingers, making sure I don't have any ink, and then I'm just pulling my transfer off to get my circle. And I'm pulling it improperly. I'm not supposed to pull it diagonally. I pull it straight. The other thing I learned, I have a big curling issue, and I was watching recently, and I learned that it's because it's how I pull the transfers off. If you pull it this way, which doesn't work with a shirt, you don't get the curling like Christmas ribbon, which drives me crazy because it makes them very hard to store. Okay, so currently we have a big old circle. Now I need to dry it because I won't be able to I put that in the water. I didn't want to do that. Not if I want to use the curly cute part. I need to dry it because I'm going to lay the other transfer down on it. And if I lay the other transfer down on it and it's not dry, it just smears your ink. It doesn't lift it necessarily like the chalk does. And you do not want to dry it with your ink mat in it. I'm going to live on the edge though, and I'm going to do that because I'm not really drying it. I'm just getting it dry enough to put the transfer back down. Heat and your ink mat, it's not its friend. So I'm just doing a quick little moving it around a lot because, again, my ink mat is in there. And you can tell when it's dry. because it doesn't come up on you. So, it will still be tacky because I have not heat set it yet. It dries fast just like chalk does, but you want it to be dry. And similar to chalk, you can see the color differences when it's dry versus when it's wet. You know, it loses its sheen when it's dry. Okay, I think I'm dry enough to lay down my transfer. Yep, okay, so now I'm just going to stick the You Are Enough in the middle. And this one we're going to do in Tide, which is very similar to my favorite peacock color in chalk. So the chalks and the inks have different names. They're different colors. They're different consistencies. They're very similar in color. They're not as many color inks as there are chalks. So hello ladies that are joining us. Thank you for joining. If you can please hit that share button, you get added to our drawing for all these fun signs that we're making at the end of our You Are Enough series. We are on part 5, and we are making a t-shirt for my daughter this evening, and hopefully we're going to make a pillow if we get that far. Okay, so what I should do is close up my ink so that I don't get ink all over, but, you know, I like to live on the edge. Oh, it's over here. Here's my Tide. See, very well here. Peacock and Tide. Almost the same exact color. One's ink, one's chalk. Difference between ink and chalk, other than their inks are really hard to open. Ink is permanent, so you can wash it. You can put it on, oh, my Easy Press is making noise again. So you can wash it in, you can do it on ceramics, and if you do it on ceramics, then you can put them in the dishwasher. So coffee mugs, to-go coffee cups, bowls, glasses. We've done a lot of fun things. My daughter, the one we're making this t-shirt for, is addicted like I have never seen to water bottles. Oh my gosh, this kid and her water bottles. We've made a lot of water bottles. Okay, so again, oh, one of the other differences with ink versus chalk is when you lay down your ink, you don't want to do it on the silk screen. You want to do it on the transfer and then pull it into the transfer. The reason for that is you could get a glob of color, concentrated color, in one spot. So you want to not do that. So that's why you start on the transfer and you pull it over into the silk screen. With chalk, it doesn't make that much of a difference. Now, I don't know how well we're going to see this blue color on the pink. I think it'll be okay. So I'm just keep going over it and pushing that ink through. So I've missed you guys the last couple days. The weekends just are kind of a nightmare right now. A good nightmare. Lots and lots of fun kid events to go to. But they make it hard to get any fun chalking in. This weekend, my husband is going out of town, though. So we are going to have lots of fun this weekend. We have lots of people coming over to craft. So that will be fun. I'm teaching my first kids-focused class with just kids. So that should be interesting. I'm actually thinking that my daughter should teach the class. I think it would be fun. Got a bunch of people coming, though. So that'll be good. Alright, so I'm just, again, going over. Making sure that I have pushed that ink through. I don't know why ink, you really got to watch the corners of your letters on ink to make sure that you get an even coating on those corners. Especially with these kind of letters where they have the little, like, thingamabobbers. So Nicole, I need your address. So you want to message me that. Because I've got that transfer all ready for you. I just need to mail it to you. Okay, so it's big reveal time. So I hope my ink mat is stuck to me. Okay, so I hold it down, I pull it from the middle, and then I pull up. I don't pull like this, I pull up. That's what I was doing wrong apparently with the curling. This is cute. Oh, she's going to look adorable in this. Okay. The other difference between ink and chalk is ink stains your transfers more. It doesn't hurt your transfers, it just stains them more. Making sure I don't have ink. So this is what we've got so far. So now, this is the tricky part. It's getting your ink mat out so you can officially dry, because it's stuck without getting the wet ink touching itself. And if you watch one of my original videos, I did a pillow and the ink mat was too big. It's kind of a colossal nightmare. It was a huge fail. I did fix it in the end, but you just want to be careful. It's worth a good laugh if you're bored and you're looking for a good laugh. You want to watch that video. I think it was Halloween or Thanksgiving time. It was a Thanksgiving pillow. Okay, so here's our shirt. We're just going to dry. And then I'll show you how I heat set it. But you got to make sure it's dry before you heat set. So if you win our prizes in your local, I will make arrangements with you. You can either come here and pick it up or I can bring it to you. If I see some of you, my little friends from out of state, are watching me, hello ladies from out of state, I'll mail them to you. Miss Montina and Miss Lisa are watching us. My wonderful, wonderful friends that don't live by me, but wish they did. Okay, so I think we're dry. I'm gonna touch. Yeah, we're dry. I don't know how I got blue all over me. Okay, so ironing board. Now the Cricut comes with a fancy like mat that you can use. I don't own it. I many times wish I did, but I don't. So I just stick right on here, and then you put a piece of parchment paper over it. Where's my parchment paper? And then you stick the easy mat or the easy press right on top of it. Okay, so you stick your parchment paper over it. This does a couple things. If your ink for some reason isn't dry, it keeps the ink off of your easy press. So this is what the easy press looks like. So it has buttons on top of it. It's very hot, so I'm gonna try not to burn myself. You put your temperature on. You put your, this is 30 seconds. You literally, this is it. It has a button. It starts a timer for you. You hold it on, and you do put a little pressure on it, and you watch your timer go down. And when it beeps at you, you flip it over. Now, when you heat set ink, you can feel the difference. That's how, one of the reasons you can know, or one of the ways you can know that it's heat set. When you run your hand over it, it won't be tacky at all. It will feel like it's part of the fabric. If you run your hand over it and it feels like you can still feel, it gets almost like stiff, then you want to you just want to, if you're ironing especially, you just want to heat set it one more time. So now my shirt is very hot. So you just want to cool it down. Yeah, and I think we did a good job. You can also tell, see that color variation? I don't know if you guys can see that. That's just from the heat. I'm going to close up this ink because I'll move this ink farther away because one of these times I'm going to stick the shirt in the ink. And now I have ink in my hand. That color variation, you know, obviously you want to be careful. You want to read what kind of fabric you have as to how hot you can get it. You don't want to burn your fabric, but this heat is just because it got hot and it goes away. So I'm not worried about that. I did some towels at Christmas time, and they were dark, dark red, and they got really dark, dark red, and I was like, oh my gosh, I ruined these towels, but it goes away. Okay, put my parchment paper back down. Now I just turned it inside out, put my easy press back on, hit my button, and then we wait. So I'm really close to having my fancy camera stand software figured out. So my problem with the camera is I need Apple, and we don't own Apple anything. So I think I'm going to have to actually invest in an iPad, which I don't want to do. But we might have to, because I really want you to be able to see my hands. Because then what happens is there's a camera over me, and you can see what I'm doing. You don't just get me. Not that you don't, you know, love me, you enjoy watching me, but... Okay. You're really watching me to craft, so... Okay. nice and hot. You can see the steam when you pull it out. And voila, we have one very cute t-shirt for one adorable young lady that says you are enough. Isn't that cool? And that's how easy that is. Okay, so I'm going to move on to a pillow. Well, actually, I have to wash the transfer, so you're about to see the whole transfer washing process. So I have my little bucket of water, and I just take my fingers, because I did this on a shirt. I did not have to fuzz it, but it does pick up the fuzz, the lint from the shirt. So you just rub it. So what I'm doing in the water is I'm just rubbing my fingers on it like this. I go like this through the water, and that rubs all that lint off of it. You just want to get as much of the lint off as you can, because it helps prolong the stickiness of your transfer. So that's just kind of important for longevity, because you can use them over and over and over and over again. I mean, as is evidence. So we've used this transfer. This is the 5th time that we've used it, and I have used it for other things. So I've probably used this transfer so far probably 8 times, and it's still going strong. The company says you can use them 8 to 12 times. It just all depends on what you're putting them on and how well you take care of them. The better you take care of it, the more you can get out of them. I had Christmas transfers I used over 50 times. But, you know, I was putting them on chalkboards. I wasn't necessarily putting them on a splintery type wood. That makes a difference. Okay, so you guys don't need to, we don't need that transfer. We can wash that one later. You know, don't leave your transfers in water overnight. Not that I've ever done that. That's bad for your transfer. Okay, so I just take it and then I dry it off like that. Now my board is glass, so that's why, and the transfer is wet, which is why it isn't sticking to it. And then I just, now to bring back the stick, you use a disinfectant wipe. Not that it's not sticky, because this, again, is a sticky transfer. But if you, especially if you find you've used your transfer lots of times and it's losing its stick, just get it with a, hit it with a disinfectant wipe, let it dry. It's sliding all over my board, and voila. Okay, now we need to let it dry. And while we do that, we will get out our pillow. So these pillows are just pillow covers, and then I put pillow inserts inside of them. We will give this pillow away if it turns out. I always have to put that disclaimer on there. Nicole, do you remember that crazy t-shirt you got? I can't believe you got that crazy t-shirt where we messed that up and we had to get all creative with how we fixed that t-shirt. But this is a very bright blue, very pretty. It's an 18, I think it's 18 by 18. As I'm throwing everything away, I'm fairly confident it's 18 by 18 pillow cover. Oh, it's 16 by 16. Oops, I'll have to get a different pillow insert for it. But it's a 16 by 16 pillow insert. And we are going to put our mat inside. And this is where, when you have pieces of an ink mat, they fit better. So I just have two. This is the ink mat I've got apart. I'm going to put both of them inside of it. Because my big, long ink mat's not going to fit. And I have an ink mat that's a square, but it's 18 by 18. So that's not going to work either. So the hard part about using two ink mats is you get that line in between them. So it can make inking challenging. But you know, everything for me is a challenge late at night. I keep trying to get back to inking or chalking during the day. But I was too busy putting out Valentine's Day decorations today, driving my kids crazy. Okay, so I have my ink mat inside. Now this is where I talk about, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but this is a bumpy fabric. So it's more probably, I guess I would call canvas-like. But because it's sticky, as I rub my fingers along it, what it does is it takes those bumps and flattens them, which allows me to get an even ink placement. Okay, so this one, I think we should do in, what colors would you like? What glass mat? Hey, Diane. What glass mat am I using? Okay, so Diane, this is a Tim Holtz glass mat that I think I got it at Joann's with a 50% off coupon. It's okay. I like it because you can wash it off. It's very easy, and I'm, as you all know, I'm a very messy chalker. So I do like the washability. The downside to it is it's glass. So I drop things. Again, I'm not very careful. I drop things, I've learned. So you just have to be careful with it because it's glass and you don't want to break it. Now I'm noticing that there's a bump in here, so I'm thinking there's something, there's a big dot thing stuck to my ink mat. So I want all the bumps out so that I can get something flat. You think I should do white, Sarah? So Sarah, I was thinking Storm or Fawn, so real light cream, really pretty gray. And then I was thinking we'll do some flowers, some of the flowers with navy and regal. So we would do, oh, stuck it on top of the transfer sticky. That's good news. I was thinking like these three colors on here. White or gray, Cheryl? You guys are always so helpful. Thank you so much for answering me. Okay, so now I can feel things underneath here. So that's my zipper. So we're going to put our You Are Enough right in the middle. When you ink a pillow, we learned this, a bunch of us, we had a craft night here, and we learned be careful that you don't go all the way to the edges, because when once you put that pillow insert, you know, it poofs up in the middle. So you just want to be conscious of how much to the edge you go. Okay, so again, I'm going over with my fingers because I don't want any bleeds, and this is a bumpier material. Sarah likes my idea colors. Okay, so I'm just, oh, we would probably need a green though, right? Maybe we'll do the leaves in gray. Doesn't have to be green, right? I don't know. You guys are the ladies that have the chance to win this. What color you want your... So, flowers that we're going to use. We can do the flowers in the regal and the navy. And should we do the leaves in the same gray that we do the... We'll do storm for the words. While I'm working on the words, you let me know, because there's a delay. So, I love storm. Oh my gosh, I know, I say that about every color, right? Wow, I don't know why the inks are so much harder to get open. My old lady fingers are not wanting to do it anymore. So, no stirring, dip and go. Don't go off the transfer. See, famous last words, right? You guys have watched me ink before. You know how that goes. I go off the words. Nicole has a t-shirt with a vintage truck on it that we had to put a ski rack on top of to hide my little mistake. Okay, can you see me? So I'm just dipping and going, making sure I'm covering everything and getting a good even coat. So I'm going to go in more than one direction, back and forth. Hopefully you don't hear any crunching sound, because that crunching sound is air bubbles. We don't want any air bubbles, because that's a bleed. We don't want bleeds. And again, like I said, you guys, there's something about me and me chalking and the bottoms of the letters. I never get enough ink down there. So you will use more ink than you use chalk, because the material absorbs it. Sarah says yes. To gray flowers, or leaves, Sarah? Is that what you're saying yes to? Okay, so I think we got a good layer. And you can tell with ink, you know, did you get an even coat? Because you don't want one letter darker because it has more ink on it than you want the other letters. You want to make sure you've got good push through. So unlike chalk that kind of sits, the ink actually goes through the transfer. So make sure my fingers are clean. I start in my corner. And see, look at how fast we're reusing this transfer. We just made one t-shirt with it and now we're reusing it again. If I had used the same colors, I would not have needed to wash it. So, can you see me? I'm holding this down, so I pull from the middle. You don't pull from the corners. Never pull diagonally. Okay. And pull straight up and down. Don't pull flat, or your transfers roll and then they're hard to store. Okay, stick them right in my water. Yes to the leaves. Okay. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. I'm going to do a quick dry job so that we can stick our flowers down. Wow, this is like a bonus night. 2 projects. So I'm sorry, I know I'm keeping you longer. Oh, we started a little later though too. So I'm really only worried about the corners because the corners will be where I'm going to lay down the flowers. Or should we get, really wild and crazy and we could just put flowers on top. We don't even have to put them in the corners. We could, totally live on the edge tonight. We're having lots of connectivity problems tonight, so I was worried that I was going to go in and out, but I don't seem to be losing you guys. Okay. Checking to make sure I'm dry. Pretty much. Okay, so I'm getting kind of sick of maybe it's because we keep using the same transfer over and over again, but I'm getting kind of sick of putting the flowers in the same places, right? Should we live on the edge? Maybe we should use this cute little guy. And just... Well, then I shouldn't have centered the words. I love it like that. You like the color, Cheryl, or you like the flowers? Okay, so we could do this. We could do this. We could do our usual. Put it in one side and put this guy in the other side, or we could do this. We could just do this, or this. What are you ladies thinking? What are you ladies thinking? I think we got, we should change it up. Because you know what? Could you win? No, I don't think you could. You can't win twice, so. You won't really. What about the same flower on the top and the bottom of the words? Ooh, Cheryl, that's not a bad idea. So, big or little? Oh, goodness gracious. I like the big flower because it's got the rose. Big flower, top and bottom. All right, Diane. See, Diane, you were reading my mind. I like the rose. Plus, it gives us an opportunity to do the different colors. Okay. Ooh. See, this is where if you guys could see my hands, it would be so much better. So we could go up and down, or down and down. I think we're going to go up and down. It kind of looks dumb down though. Alright, here, I'll put it down to show you. Does he look like he's falling? If we go that way? Because then we would put him here for there. And then this way? Or is he too big? Cheryl thinks big too. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious, ladies. This shouldn't be so challenging, right? Or should we put it up? See, it's really made to go on the corner, and that's why. Because it's made to go on that really, really pretty hexagon. Oh, hi, Julie. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. out. All right. Switch directions. Okay. All right, we're going for it, ladies. Make sure we're not covering up the words here. Okay, so now, as I'm rubbing it, this goes over the zipper. So that's where you got to really make sure that you have stuck down the little parts. So like in this flower, there's all these little tiny dots. You know, you really got to make sure you've got them down. The nice thing about switching colors when you do ink is you don't have that whole same panic of it drying. Okay, I got ink on my hands when I open that. Okay, so we're gonna do, I think the rose should be regal because it's such a beautiful bright color. Plus, I don't know of too many blue roses. I don't really know of any blue flowers. Oh, actually there are blue flowers. I shouldn't say that. So I'm just going over him. Now, so I won't wash him in between. So we have to stick with the same colors. I could not wash him. Or wash him and then we could change colors. But we're going to stick with the same. We're going to make this little guy regal. And we'll make this little guy regal. And then the other flowers we're going to make blue, and we'll make the flowers gray. So I am looking very forward to the Valentine's Day signs that we're going to start next. I'm obsessed with Valentine's Day. Because it's a celebration of love. Love, 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 love. So my other crafting habit that I like to do is foiling. And I told my kids I was going to foil a sign that says a celebration of love and hang it in Joseph's room. Just because I was torturing him this afternoon. He's the first one that comes home, you know, and I've been home by myself. I gotta torture somebody. I'm sure he would much rather not be the first one that comes home because he's the kid that gets all the jobs then too. He's always like, what's everybody else gonna have to do? Like, don't worry, they'll have jobs too. Okay, so I'm gonna switch to a smaller squeegee in my gray because we used a big one for the words, but because I want to get in here with these little flowers, plus I want to reuse this. So that's what's there. There's nothing stressful at all about using ink other than going off the transfer. And okay, yes, there's stressful things, but like now I can take my time and I can really make sure that I have ink over everything and I don't worry about it drying. I would have to worry about it dry. If I was doing chalk right now, I'd be panicking because this is taking me so long. But these flowers have these little lines. They're not big, thick lines. So with ink, you know, you really got to get in there. With chalk, you know, you just go over it and it covers them. But with ink, you want even coats. And I don't have to worry if it dries. Because you want it to dry, first off, because it's drying into the fabric. And my Easy Press is going to turn off again. It has a really nice feature where it has this automatic shut off. Which is great, except for it beeps at me all the time because I'm not ready. Okay, so I think I'm good. I look covered. It's big reveal time. Are you ready? This is always the did she do it right? Didn't she do it right? Did she do it right? Didn't she do it right? Okay, so I'm pulling from the middle. This is pretty. This is very pretty. Okay, hang on. I'll show you. You are enough. Ta-da! So now we're going to do the bottom. I'm hoping that the Regal dries brighter than it is right now. I mean, it's still pretty bright. But it seems, you know, I'll show you, when you compare the two, it seems so much more bright when it's not on the pillow. But that has a lot to do with the dark blue surface that we're putting it on. Okay, so I'm going to get my fingers full of ink because I need to put this down and there's ink all over it. So I'm going to remember that my fingers are full of ink and I'm going to wash them off before I do anything, touch anything. Now, this is that whole fuzzing. Even though I didn't fuzz it, it's fuzzed because I'm on fabric. So it's pulling up the lint from the pillow. So you do have to be careful. So hopefully this is going to work. Because ladies, this is a nice pillow. Kind of cool looking. I love this blue. Okay. I'm not going to touch anything. Wash my fingers off. Make sure I got all the ink off. Okay. So, are you guys ladies looking forward to Valentine's Day? Do you guys do anything fun? Do you have any special traditions? Do you have any funny sayings that you like to say to torture your kids, like I'd like to torture mine? I know, as my 17-year-old reminded me, it's the 7th of January, Mom. It's more than a month away. But, you know, you can't plan too soon. And I think because I'm doing classes and we're doing Valentine's Day signs, I'm in Valentine's Day mode already. I had the same problem at Christmas time. I was in Christmas mode way before everybody else was. But when you start making Christmas signs in August, you know, you get there sooner than everybody else. So, there's some really nice Valentine's Day ones up. We're going to make those next. I keep showing you the Mr. Darcy one, but there's one that says, all you need is love. It's behind me back here. That one is another one we're doing at the class on the 26th. And then there's the Snuggle is Real, which, can you see this little board behind me? It's in Wild Berry. Behind it, it says, hug me, hug me, hug me, hug me, hug me. And then it says, the snuggle is real on it. Then there's another one that says, P.S. I love you. And then you are loved. There's some really nice ones for Valentine's Day. I don't know. They're not necessarily Valentine's Day. They're just love. Sarah can't wait. Oh, Sarah, you are so cute. We really need to meet, Sarah, so that we can talk chalk. All my friends are going to leadership this week, which is in California. So they are getting the preview of the catalog that's coming out on the 4th of February. It's 128 new transfers. I cannot wait. But they're going to get the preview this week. So hopefully by next week, I will know what the new transfers look like. Or at least some of them. Not that we need a lot of new transfers, because, oh, goodness gracious, I have a lot of transfers. But you can never have enough, right? You can't. It's crafting supplies, right? It's too much fun. Way too much fun. So the problem with reusing a transfer and not washing it is you're more likely to pull the color in. Oh, Isabel has joined us. Woohoo, she's in the house. I know, you gotta love yourself some wild berry, Belle. Isabel came this week and guest chalked, but I didn't videotape it. I did take pictures. And she used wild berry. Okay, you ready? Big reveal time. I hope this one works because we didn't wash it off. Oh, it worked. Okay, this is cute. I hope one of you fun ladies win this pillow. You ready? I'll flip it around for you to see. cute that is. Okay, so you poor ladies have watched me long enough. You don't really want to watch me heat set this, do you? You can. First I take my ink mats out carefully because I have wet ink and I don't want my wet ink to touch itself. So when you ink, it's a little different than transfers, right? When I don't want the backs of the transfer, well, I still don't want the backs of the transfers to touch each other, but when you ink, you don't want the front of your project to touch itself because it's wet ink and it will get ink where you don't want ink. So this is probably, I find, the most challenging part of inking, is getting the ink mats out without... Okay. It did turn out great. Thanks, Cheryl. I like these colors. It's a bright blue, you know. You'd have to put it somewhere that you needed a little bright sunshine in your day. But it's cute. Very cute. It would look adorable in my daughter's room. But she's getting the t-shirt. You guys are getting the pillow. Okay, so I'm going to dry it. All I have left to do is heat set. I'm going to dry it. I'm going to put my easy press on top of it. Stuff my pillow insert in it. I will take a picture and post it for you so you can see. Please, 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 please share my video. That's how you get entered to draw it, but you have to comment that you shared it. Otherwise, I don't know that you shared it. It's just like if we're not friends on Facebook and you don't say hi, I don't know you're watching me. I just know the number of people that are watching me. So, if you can comment that you shared, then I know, and that's how I get you entered in the drawing. And we're winding down in the You Are Enough. I think I only have 1 or 2 more projects. Then we'll do the drawings, and we'll move on to Valentine's Day. Because I can't wait to do Valentine's Day. Okay. Ladies, thanks for watching me. Have a lovely, lovely evening. I'll take some pictures and post them for you so you can see. Oh, we'll do one more quick one. Hang on. Because some of you weren't here for the beginning. This is the cute t-shirt we made for Miss Ella. And then we made this really cute pillow that we're going to stuff with a pillow insert. And this, you have the opportunity. We're going to add it to our pile of, now we have 3 things that we're giving away. We're giving away the pillow. We're giving away our pretty flower with our beautiful wooden flowers. And we're giving away the sign that's kind of the way it was made to be. So at the end, we're going to do a drawing, and I'll pull 3 names. You cannot win more than once, unfortunately. Unlike with the 12 Days of Chalkmas, you could win more than once. But this one, because we're going to do all 3 drawings right away, you get 1 shot. But every time you watch a video and you share it, you get entered. So some of you, like Miss Nicole and Miss Sarah, and more of you have done it, have watched every single video. Carol, Cheryl, you've all watched them all, and you've shared every one. So you'll get an entry for every single one that you share. So, for those of you who are just joining us and you haven't watched the other ones, go back and watch them and share them, and then you'll get entered in the drawings as well. Thank you so, so much. If you're interested in the Simply Said, which is what this transfer is called, why it's not called You Are Enough, I don't know, but if you're interested in this transfer, you can find it at www.chalkcouture/MakeandMaria. It's under special deals. With this, you get the transfer, you get a 10-inch hexagon board frame, hexagon board. You get 4 pastes, 3 of which are exclusive colors just to the kit, and 1 of them is white, and a squeegee. So you get everything you need to make at least 1 project, or if not more, because there's more paste in there than just 1 project. So that's how you get it. It's $34.99. It's normally, if you bought all those things individually, I want to say it's $42, so you save $7, $8 by buying the kit. So it's a good deal. It's the first time the company's done something like that. But you have to go to my website. I cannot order it for you, because normally you guys just order stuff from me. But you have to go to my website and order it there. And they'll ship it right directly to you. Because I know, Carol or Kathy? Carol, you got yours already. Have you made it yet? Oh my gosh, I need to find out. If you've made it, Carol, you need to post your picture so we can see what you made. Thank you, Julie, for sharing it with 2 people. Have a lovely evening, ladies. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great night. See ya.